Let's kick things off with the mysterious, then work our way down to the puzzles that make historians want to just throw in the towel. Number 12, the Clovis people. So the Clovis people, one of the earliest cultures we've found in North America, showing up about 13,000 years ago. That's so ancient that if they'd left a Yelp review, it would outlast any meme on the internet. For about 1,000 years, the Clovis were everywhere. Their stone spear points all over the place, from Canada through Mexico, along with campsites and spots where they hunted mammoths. And then, almost out of nowhere, they just vanish from the story. No mass graves, no signs of a huge battle, not even evidence of a massive famine. It's like someone just turned off the lights and poof, gone. Some researchers think a dramatic climate freeze called the Younger Dryas messed everything up, killing off mammoths, the Clovis' big food source, and taking the people with them. Other folks point to a comet or asteroid, basically, a day ruined by a rock from space. Either way, this whole culture that lasted 1,000 years disappears so completely that now, the main thing we know about them comes from the shape of their tools. Honestly, it's a little humbling. One day, someone's probably going to dig up our old phones and be just as confused. Number 11, the Aksumite Empire. At its height, the Kingdom of Aksum, spanning what's now Ethiopia and Eritrea, stood shoulder to shoulder with Rome, Persia, and China. This wasn't some obscure backwater. They had their own script, minted their own coins, raised towering stone obelisks that topped 100 feet, and managed trade routes running right across the Red Sea. If the big empires of the ancient world had a group chat, Aksum would have definitely had a front row seat. But then, around the 7th century, the story just ends. This powerhouse, once a rival to Rome, vanished so thoroughly that later European scholars decided the ruins had to be the work of some mythical foreign civilization. Apparently, it was easier to invent some imaginary race than admit an African empire built their version of skyscrapers long before the modern world did. Why did Aksum disappear? Trouble came from shifting trade routes, environmental problems, and when Islamic trade networks took over, Aksum was left out in the cold. Just goes to show, ancient or modern, if you miss out on the latest economy, you're history, even if you were the one who brought currency to the table in the first place. Number 10, the Cahokia Mounds. Just outside today's St. Louis, there used to be a city bigger than London. Really, let that sink in. Around 1100 AD, Cahokia hit its peak with about 20,000 people. They built giant earthen pyramids, set up a clever wooden calendar known as Woodhenge, because even back then, people liked a good pun, and ran a sprawling society with strict leaders and miles of farmland. And then, in just a century and a half, everyone left. There wasn't a big war, no mass disease, nothing dramatic jumping out from the archaeological record. People just drifted away, bit by bit, until this once vast city ended up deserted. Later settlers even thought the huge mounds were just natural hills. Some experts say deforestation and worn-out soil did them in. Others blame floods, political disorder, or a shifting climate that made farming fall apart. Whatever actually happened, one thing's pretty clear: even the most organized city couldn't outplan disaster. Number 9, the Nazca people. The Nazca, once called the coastal deserts of southern Peru home. Today, we know them mostly for the Nazca lines, those massive geoglyphs etched into the desert. Animals, plants, and shapes so huge you can really only see them from way up in the air. It's weird, honestly. These folks didn't have planes, but they went out of their way to make art that's only obvious if you're airborne. Makes you wonder what they were thinking. But here's the real puzzle. What happened to the Nazca themselves? Sometime between 500 and 700 AD, their whole society fell apart. Most signs point to a disaster they brought on themselves. To carve out more farmland, the Nazca cleared out the native warango trees. Big mistake. These trees kept the desert soil together and shielded the area from floods. Once the trees disappeared, the whole region got hammered. Massive floods, then severe drought. Turns out, those same trees also helped the land hold onto groundwater. By trying to grow more, they accidentally wrecked everything. They pretty much engineered their own downfall by mismanaging the land. Honestly, this should be part of every environmental science class. right alongside a giant warning. Don't do this. Number 8. The Indus Valley Civilization. At its peak, the Indus Valley Civilization, also called the Harappan Civilization, was huge. It covered big stretches of what's now Pakistan and northwest India, and honestly, these people were ahead of their time. Picture this: cities laid out in neat grids, houses with indoor plumbing, even standardized weights and measures. All of this happening thousands of years before most folks realized cities didn't have to be random clusters of huts. And yet, the real kicker? Nobody's figured out how to read their writing. There are piles of inscriptions on old seals and shards of pottery. Experts have pored over them for decades, but the language stays a mystery. It's like finding an ancient group's diary and being stuck staring at the locked cover for 100 years. By around 1900 BC, things went south. The rivers shifted, especially the Gagarhakra dried up. The monsoons changed, hurting their crops. People left the big cities, broke off into smaller villages, and those once bustling places just faded away. They built working toilets and sewage before most of the world, but in the end, water leaving the area basically finished them off. You couldn't make up a more poetic twist. Number 7. The Rapa Nui of Easter Island. You probably recognize them for those massive stone heads, just staring blankly across open land, looking like they're waiting for a bus that'll never come. The Rapa Nui people settled this tiny Pacific spot around 1200 AD. Over the centuries, they somehow carved and hauled almost 900 of these moai statues all over the island. Some of them tipped the scales at more than 80 tons. They did this with nothing more than ropes, wooden logs, and, I guess, a heroic dose of teamwork. The old story goes like this: the islanders chopped down every single tree to move those statues. No trees left meant disaster, ecological ruin, topsoil washing away, crops failing, and eventually hunger and collapse. It's like they carved their own doom with each new moai, but recent studies have muddied the waters. Turns out, when Europeans showed up, they brought diseases and took islanders as slaves that hit the population even harder than the lack of trees. So, by the time any outsiders made it there, the thriving Rapa Nui community was a shell of its former self. All that's left, stone giants scattered everywhere, and not a single tree on the island for hiding or second chances. Number 6. The Anasazi, or Ancestral Puebloans. Out in the American Southwest, the Ancestral Puebloans pulled off something truly wild. They carved entire multi-story cities right into canyon walls, places like Chaco Canyon and Mesa Verde. These weren't just a bunch of rocks stacked up either. We're talking ancient apartment complexes built so well, some of them have survived more than 800 years. Honestly, they hold up better than some places people built just last year. Then, around 1300 AD, they bailed. It didn't happen gradually either. Archaeological digs show almost everyone left the area in a hurry, within just a couple of generations. The main theory: a brutal megadrought that dragged on for decades, mixed with wiped out resources and rising clashes between settlements fighting over whatever was left. Things got rough. Evidence from some sites points to violence and even cannibalism. Don't need much imagination to picture how desperate people were before finally deciding enough was enough. Their descendants are still around today, living among various Pueblo tribes. So the culture wasn't lost, it adapted, shifting somewhere else. Basically, imagine the biggest, most chaotic group move in history, and you've got the Ancestral Puebloans. Number 5. The Etruscans. Long before Rome claimed the spotlight, the Etruscans ruled the scene in central Italy. These folks weren't just ahead of their time, they were masters at metalwork, built some wild tombs, and whether Rome likes it or not, probably kicked off those gladiator games everyone later credited to the Romans. So when you picture ancient Rome in all its glory, remember, a lot of it was Etruscan first. For all their impact, the Etruscan language is still mostly a mystery, and bit by bit, Rome swallowed up their world, culturally, then militarily, until not much was left. By around 100 BC, Etruscan cities' language, even their unique identity, had vanished into the Roman machine. Even most of what we think we know about them comes straight from Roman writers, the very people who steamrolled them in the first place. It's like letting the winner write the loser's story, or maybe their obituary. Number 4. The Minoans. Now there's a group that knew how to make an impression. They lived on Crete and pretty much kicked off advanced civilization in Europe, at least as far as we know. Their palaces, like Knossos, were a whole feat, multiple stories, actual plumbing, and walls covered in colorful frescoes. A lot of those paintings showed people bull leaping, which, honestly, sounds like either the wildest sport ever or a terrible idea someone just had to immortalize for the ages. Then, things got rough. Around 1450 BC, their world unraveled almost overnight. Most historians pin the blame on the massive eruption of Thera, Santorini today, which set off tsunamis, covered everything in ash, and wrecked their farms. That eruption was big, one of the loudest disasters in ancient records. Some folks claim Plato's Atlantis story traces back to the Minoans, an advanced society wiped out in a blink by the sea. Maybe it's true, maybe not. But one thing's clear. Building your whole civilization next to an angry volcano? That's a risk that, sooner or later, cashes in. Number 3. The Khmer Empire of Angkor. The Khmer Empire, which ruled over a large region in Southeast Asia, constructed the immense complex of Angkor, including Angkor, the world's largest religious monument, as well as an extensive network of waterways and reservoirs for the needs of the population numbering close to 1 million people, one of the largest cities in the pre-industrial world. However, already in the 14th and 15th centuries, the city was abandoned and swallowed up by the jungle. Modern excavations using the latest technology, LiDAR, have identified the reason for this as being not an outside invasion, but a failure of the water system. Massive deforestation to build the temples and cities, and the resulting changes in the local climate, made the system of levees and reservoirs, built to regulate the damaging effects of monsoon rains, useless. Periods of both devastating floods and crippling droughts rendered the great city uninhabitable. This was a civilization that drowned and starved in its own plumbing, a victim of its own short-sightedness. Number 2. The Olmec civilization. The Olmec civilization is regarded as the mother of all Mesoamerican cultures. They are the base on which the later civilizations such as the Maya and Aztec developed. Their most famous artifacts are their stone heads weighing up to 20 tons. These stones were moved by hand, without using any draft animals. By 400 BC, the Olmecs faded as a civilization, and all of their cities were abandoned and taken back by the jungle. No one knows the reason for their demise for sure, but there are several theories, including their internal problems or loss of control of the river that made agriculture impossible. What makes the disappearance of the Olmecs so interesting is the fact that nothing is left of them. An entire civilization that existed and shaped the region of the Mesoamerica disappeared without any traces. Number 1. The classic Maya collapse. Finally, the number 1 most catastrophic ancient catastrophe. The Maya were contemporaries of the ancient world's most sophisticated civilizations. Theirs was a civilization that produced accurate calendars, complex writing, and pyramids that punctured the sky. Yet, despite the height of this development between the years 800 and 950 AD, approximately 150 years, the blink of an eye in geological time saw most of the great cities of the Mayas' southern lowlands totally abandoned. Grand temples and palaces stood empty as the civilization's inhabitants disappeared almost entirely, leaving the jungles to reclaim their ancient monuments. The accepted view of historians is that it was a combination of drought, environmentally damaging deforestation, overpopulation, and internecine wars among the different Maya city-states that led to the collapse. These stressors, a near-complete set of potential catastrophes, coincided with a period when the Maya were fighting for survival, making for a bad combination. Most terrifyingly, this wasn't an apocalyptic event that destroyed the entire civilization. Contemporary descendants of the ancient Maya people still number in the millions across Central America. What happened was that the entire infrastructure of the ancient Maya civilization, its cities, was dismantled in a matter of decades, leaving these great ruins to be swallowed by the jungle over the next millennium. So now, do you believe that civilization can be permanent? This Maya catastrophe serves as a sobering reminder that the most sophisticated ancient societies could be very fragile when it came to things like droughts, poor resource management, water supply, and sometimes merely living next to a volcano.